effective collaboration between security agencies. And they came up with the National Anti-Terrorist Center, where all the security agencies, they all come together. The Inspector General of Police 3 weeks ago was in the United States of America, where he saw them, in practical terms, all the agencies, the FBI, the CIA, the police, so that once this information are coming together, it is being processed. They are also having the capacity and the ability to push it, to their people who are on the field. What are the initiatives of the IGP in intelligence-led policing? This is an interesting part, and this is the area I think will interest a lot of our audience here this evening. When we had the untidy escission of what is today called the DSS, the NSO from the Nigerian Police Force, the Nigerian Police Force did not emplace a security department that would take charge of that aspect that has taken off from the Nigerian Police Force. The Abisoye report after the Metesini crisis in Kano stated that clearly, that the Nigerian Police Force lacked the criminal intelligence capabilities to deal with internal security issues. It has taken the Nigerian Police Force 78 years after the creation for us to start thinking outside the box. How are we going to solve these issues that we are dealing with? It took the vision of one man, MD Abubakar, to actually start opening up. He's the first IG that had thought it wise that there has to be a separate training institution for intelligence officers in the country, where they will have to be trained, not the general training that we usually have now. And we went ahead to set up a school in Enugu. It took us about 3 months to set up that school. And when we set up that school in February and it was opened, within February and as I speak, we have been able to train 955 intelligence officers. He also gave me the go-ahead. I told him, sir, I said, sir, not every policeman can be an intelligence officer. So, if not every policeman can be an intelligence officer, let me go ahead and assess the manpower strength that we have in the department. By the time we took over last year, we had about 5,000 police officers in the Force Intelligence Bureau. And most of them, they had, the perception they had about intelligence was being BGs, bodyguards to VIPs. And that is not what intelligence in police parlance is supposed to mean. Intelligence in police parlance is supposed to mean that you have intelligence officers who are able to get the trends and patterns of crime in all the states of the Federation, geolocate these things, rank them, and put these things at the disposal of the Inspector General of Police, so that at a go, on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis, he can score his commissioners of police. He can say, this month, Delta State came first in reducing the incidence of kidnapping. The following month, and when we are able to identify the trends and patterns of crime, that is the only time you can now come up with adequate strategies to deal with those particular type of crime. So there's a paradigm shift in our intelligence department. We have now left the BG mentality into training officers, crime analysts, people who understand what the basic concept of intelligence is all about. And that we owe to MD Abubakar. Further, when the governor was speaking now, he said there is no police force that can police any country without the mandate of the community in which they are policing them. So we have to go back to the drawing board. Early in May, we traversed the 6 geopolitical zones of the country, getting all the strategic stakeholders who we know were tangentially relevant to internal security measures in this country. We brought them together and we told them, we say, look, this country belongs to you. If you don't give us intelligence, there is no way we will be able to tackle the issues that we are dealing with. He was the one who put the money on ground, and at the end of that, we were able to come up with a book, National Intelligence Community Partnership Approach. It's a masterpiece, and I think all of you need to have one of it. we have been able to deal with the issues of inspectors and the rank and file. We have taken a step further to set up a school in Arase, Kwara State. It is the first, institute, intelligence institute we are going to have in the West African sub-region. The building has completed, it has been commissioned, and by the time we are through with that, we are thinking of training strategic officers, because the school we have presently in Enugu is to train inspectors and rank and file. By the time we do that, we will be able to now export our capabilities to the West African sub-region. First time in Nigerian police force that we were able to now start sharing our knowledge, sharing our intellectual platform with other security services. We are used to always sending our officers to the SSS training school, the DIA, but now we have been able to also bring them to our school to come and mix with our own students and also impact the knowledge that we have. All those we owe to MD Abubakar. In terms of logistics, we've been able to do quite a lot. This is not, the period I've been given is not enough for me to be able to articulate all that we have done in that department. I'm sure during his own scorecard speech, he may be able to talk about some of those things. I have just highlighted, some of those issues that I think are very, very germane, to intelligence gathering in these countries. So what are the strategies towards strengthening intelligence sharing framework in the country? The first I have here, I said continuous development of individual agencies, human and institutional capacity towards optimal professionalism. There is no need for us to be, professional envy. When you see an SSS officer or somebody in the military or somebody in the Navy, you are saying, he's gaining the security space. You must be able to be professionally competent for you to have the platform to compete favorable in the sense security space. So that's what we are saying, that with the continuous education of our intelligence officers and men, we will be able to compete favorably for the space that we're talking about. Engaging in joint training and operations to standardize operations and break the professional wall. I have mentioned that. Now, the police will now have a school where we call the other sister security agencies to come once in a while and for us to share ideas. So that is the type of thing that we look forward to towards breaking the professional wall that we have been facing. Emplacement of a national strategy for intelligence sharing in line with the US model. We've been talking about the fusion center, which is supposed to be in the NSA's office. It has not been sufficiently developed. We need something that will be developed where all the agencies will all come together and as the information are coming in, we're analyzing it, we are able to share immediately instead of the hoarding that is currently going on. Then the role of the National Assembly in addressing proliferation of security agencies, either with overlapping functions or without clearly delineated functions. What I'm trying to say here is that presently it looks as if we have a lot of security agencies that are doing jobs that overlap into other agencies. Maybe when we learn to professionalize, stay within our space, the issues we're talking about will be concluded. In conclusion, I said the challenges of globalization and the dynamic, increasing complex and fertile nature of security threats currently facing our nation have made it imperative for all security agencies to break the wall and build interagency confidence that is strong enough to engender seamless intelligence sharing and joint utilization where necessary. There is no interagency trophy at stake to engender competition or justify intelligence hoarding. The only common challenge at stake is the challenge of enhancing national security and internal cohesion, as well as protecting our values and government. These are best achieved through interagency collaboration, as a house divided against itself can never stand. On my way to Asaba, I was thinking, how can I encourage my boss to continue with his reformation agenda? I thought about about the life of most people who have really impacted positively on their society, and I finally zeroed in on this. I will read it.